task you have. Okay, in this particular task one, in this particular task one, we have to create a table, right? We have to create a table and altering a table, dropping a table, or creating a database, creating a altering a database, altering a database. We're going to working on that particular task one. Okay, so this is related with your unit one. Already we discussed about that some of the comments of DDL. Can anyone have chalk, please? Okay, so in this we already discussed about that data definition language. In that data definition language we are having some comments to discuss. Okay, I just want to show you few what are the data commands, SQL commands we having, and in that what we're going to see. So here, for suppose I'm showing. Okay, okay, so here we having some commands. Okay, number one, I'm going to say that DDL. So these are the SQL commands. Okay, these are the SQL commands. In that SQL commands, as per your syllabus lab point of view, we have to work on creating a table, creating a database, and creating a table and inserting a data into that. So coming to the SQL commands, we having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points are very important. Please be noted down. Number one, DDL. Number two, DCL. Number three, DML. And number four, TCL and DQL. Okay. Now coming to this DDL, what exactly known as a DDL? Data definition language or data description language, right? Then coming to the DCL, data control language. What it means? Data control language means you have to control your data, right? So you having a database, anybody can access the data? No, we don't want to allow anyone to access your data. So we want to make sure that, so we have to control that ఎవరికి ఏ డేటా యాక్సెస్ ఉండాలంటే వాళ్ళకి మాత్రం we're going to allow, right? So in this DCL we're going to study about that data control language. Then we having a DML, data manipulation language. Okay, data manipulation language. Then we having TCL, transaction control language. What is that? Transaction control language. And then we having a data query language. Okay, these are the five things are we have to be considered here: DDL, DCL, DML, DCL, DQL. These are the five. So all these five will comes under your SQL commands. Okay, so as for the DBMS lab point of view, first 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks, whatever may be you having, you can see here. You can see here first 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 4 tasks. We're going to work on this all these commands here. Okay, so 1 to 4 means so far we discussed about the unit 1. So this will be covered all the 4 commands here. Is that clear? Right? Now I just want to get back again here. So here please be noted that DDL, just note it down. Okay, here DDL, number one, we having create, alter, drop, and what is that last one? Truncate. We having 4 things, or you can have add one more, rename also. We having 5 commands. Create, number one, in DDL, create, drop, and alter, truncate, rename. These are 5 comments we're going to discuss. Where? In DDL. Right? Now, coming to the DCL. What is the meaning of DCL here? Data control language. That means we want to control on the data. Okay? Grant and revoke. What is the comments we having? We having two comments. One is a grant and one is a revoke. What is the meaning of grant? You are a one fellow. You are try to access the data. So as an administrator, if you want to see my data, I have to allow you. That's the command of grant. Revoke means you have to take it out. You're already giving a permission, you're accessing that, right? Now I don't want to showcase you. I want to remove out that. So I can revoke that. So that is a DCL. What it means? Data control language. Means it will have all the control on your access of the things. Okay. Then coming to the DML. What is the DML here? Data manipulate language. Here what we are doing? We are doing inserting, update and delete. Three things are very, very important. In this DML, we have three things. One is insert, update and delete. All the things will be considered here. Rollback and save point. This is the commit and this is the rollback and save point and this is the your SQL. Okay. Now, so as for my point of view, what I'm talking to you, please listen me very clearly. And these are the commands which are we discussing here. This is not for just for your Dbms lab. This is for your examination also. In your examination from unit 1, they're going to ask a question asking you what is the Dbms and what is known as DDL. Explain briefly. What is the DDL and DML? Explain briefly. They can ask you such type of question. Then what you're going to say that answer? The database, okay, database management system, it will be going to store the collection of all the programs together, will be keeping 1 year. Then what about the database? It will be collecting all the data, putting in 1 year, that we can call them as a DB, right? So after that, so you're going to put it like a DDL. DDL stands for data definition language or data description language. Then what you're going to say that in a DDL language, we are going to have a sample some of the commands we are going to discuss in here. The commands like create, alter, drop, truncate, rename. Then you're going to explain about the create command. So just writing about like this, create, you have to give the description about the create command. What is the description you having? Create statements used. Means here I'm creating a one database. What I'm creating here? I'm creating a database. So what is the description of for creating here? Create statement is used to define a database structure schema. For what we are using? Create command we are using for to create a database structure schema. If I am going to create a table command, then my description is going to be changed like this. Create statement is you use it to define the table structure schema, right? And followed by you have to write syntax for Dbms. Must and should. You have to follow syntax for Dbms. Then write it the syntax what you having. What is the syntax for that? Create database name, semicolon. Right? Create database name, semicolon. And finally, what you do, in examination, you have to draw one square box also. Why? Because the spot validators have to know that this is very important point. These are the way you have to explain your examination. So once you've done that, after you're going to follow with one example, then you having a syntax for creating a table. So here also what we'll do, assumption that we have to write such a way that here in example, assumption that we're going to have a 4 or 5 entities. What is that? Assumption that we're going to be considering 4 or 5 entities. Now you have to write here what are the entities I'm having. You can say, for example, I'm taking this one. I have to consider some entities. Okay. So here, if I'm going to consider the students, then I can say that rule number, name, branch, phone number. Okay. These are the my considering. Then you have to write a comment for creating a table. Am I clear? So we having syntax for this. Okay. So this is generalized I'm talking here. Now, if I'm going to have four attributes, now you tell me what the syntax for the create. So I want to create a one table. Table is AID A. Okay. What's the my table name? I have to create a one AID A. And what is my entries I want to do? What are the column entries I'm having? I'm having one. I can say that rule number. Okay. Then I want to create name. I want to create name, and then I want to create branch. Then I want to create one phone number. Okay. So these are the four attributes I want to create. Right? Am I right or not? Clear so far? Now, what is the syntax for creating a table? You know about that column. Okay. Okay. So creating a table. So we already worked on this W3 school website. I want to create one table here. So we'll see that what is the syntax for this. Now please note it down. Please note it down. This is the syntax for you. Okay. Create table name. Sorry, create table. What do you want to create here? You want to create a table. Okay. Create table, and what the table name we having? AD, right? Now you tell me what are the column names we having? One column name one is a rule number. So once we writing the column name one as a rule number, then tell me what the data type we have. What is the data type we have? Okay. Okay. Shall we check once? Check it out. Okay. So okay. So I hope you're seeing this, right? Now I want to create a table, and you please tell me. I want to create a table. What's the table name we having? What the table name we having? AID A, right? And what I want to create the first is your rule number, right? Rule number. Now you tell me what is the data type for the rule number. Shall we go with the integer or varchar? So we know that integer is belongs to only 0 to 9. Okay. So if you want to consider your rule number is the last four digits only, like you want to say that your rule number is 4501, then I can use integer. Okay. So I'll use integer, and I can use the size of the integer. So here, what's the my rule number? I want to consider this is the my rule number. Okay. Clear? That is the reason I'm using integer here. Okay. So integer bracket, what's the size of that? So four numbers means size is four. Okay. Am I clear? Am I clear here? Rule number, what the data type we having? Integer. We having a data types like integer, float, date, time, character, varchar. Right? These are the some data types I'm talking. There's a another data types are there, also there. Right? Now here integer, and you having a rule number is 4. Rule number integer is size is a 4. Now, what about the next one? Next one, I want to create a name. Okay. Next one is name. Okay. Then varchar. So what is the size of this? I want to give the 15. What is the size here? Name varchar 15. Then what is the my fourth? I want to create a branch br. I want to say br. So branch is like a CSE, AAD, CSD, something like that. In that there is no number or anything. So that I want to use char. Okay. I just want to use char character. Is it clear? Are you following or not? Yes or no? So I can give it is around 20. Okay. Then I want to see the last two things. What is the last one I'm having here? I'm having a phone number. Okay. Now phone number is there any characters up there? No, it's a purely integer, right? So I can use int and the size of this. How much? Is that clear? Any difficulty? No. So shall we check? Is it a AED is table is created or not? Shall we check? So I just take it out this here. So I want to see here, try out yourself. So see, this is one platform I'm talking, but to execute your DBMS, all the lab work, you have to install your SQL, Oracle 10G or 11 or whatever may be. That link will be going to be shared to you. If you're going to ask me, otherwise I won't share. You have to ask me, right? And if you some of you even don't have the laptops, that's the reason I'm just working in this w3schools.com site. You have a means I can't say that everything can be worked in your site, but we can try out something like that. Okay, that will be done today itself. Once I'm done that, I'm going to ask you open your mobiles and do it there. Don't just like to sit here, okay? But I want to make sure that you should carry your laptop at least from tomorrow on. How many are having a laptop right now? Not only one, two, three, four. Only those fellows are carrying laptop. You having a laptop, right? You don't have a laptop. Do you? No one. How many are having a laptop? Can you raise your hand? Anyone? You you don't have anybody. Nobody having a laptop. Just bring your laptops tomorrow. Okay.